Why? Don't do this.
Here's Laura, and here's me. Outside number 8, cross street. Here, I'll show you our street of little terrace houses. Little cross street, and ours is one of the small ones here. Let me back up so you can see it. There it is, up to this gray sky, and we're off for our morning walk.
2 minutes.
Now we're walking along New Street, down towards the river, and we've discovered a new route to get to our favorite bike path right along the river, which is lovely to walk on. And so I'll show you the way here. Kind of noisy. They're picking up trash this morning. You can see the truck. But there's the Black Horse, which is the nearest pub to us. We just discovered it. Ironically, instead of serving pub food, it serves Indian food. We're going to try it out anytime soon. Well, it's a bit noisy this morning. That's Orchard Street. And now along here is a row of very beautiful, bigger houses. Laura's worried about me getting run over.
Yeah.
Lots of traffic this morning. We're doing this about 8 o'clock in the morning. See people coming off to work and picking up trash. It's a hectic morning scene. And we're going across the white something.
Whitechapel. Or white.
Here we are. Whitehall Bridge Road. And you get to see a little bit of the sunrise over there in the distance. Young people going to school, old people out for their constitutional. Okay, I'm going to go over the bridge. This is a bridge over the railway. Here, I'll give you a peek down each side. This side. Down there is the Canterbury West Station. You can barely see it down the way. And this is the rooftops of Canterbury. Here's Whitehall Gardens on the other side, and a typical Canterbury street. There's the cathedral. You can see the top of it. I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can see. And bike rider coming by. We're on the north side of Canterbury, outside the city walls, and we'll come back by through the gardens, through the Westgate Gardens, and I'll give you a little glimpse of that too. This is the infamous pay and display stand. You go and buy a ticket, of course, to put in the window of your car. And we're under the bridge here going to a little park, which is so full of mud that you can't walk through it anymore, so we've found a way around the mud. Schoolboys reluctantly going to school. Here's the little park that I mentioned. We come in over on that far side when we can navigate through it. And then these boys are posturing, maybe waiting for a bus, full of testosterone. We're kind of running low on testosterone, at least I am this day. And you see a little walk we found. Takes us along the river, which is very pleasant. There's a little gate over, a little bridge over the river here, and people walking their dogs and their children. Here you can see it's been raining for weeks here, so the ground is totally saturated, and anytime it's exposed, it's just a sea of mud. But the bike paths here are dry and navigable. Here's the branch of the River Stour. Can't see too much. We'll be down along the wider part shortly. And here's the entrance to our walk. Big marshy area here with lots of waterfowl out there, and there's some horses grazing on the side. They might come over to us. We'll see. Here you can see the little side moats and tributaries for these rivers. There we go. There you can see some of the ducks out there enjoying themselves in the water. And here's our some horses. I don't know what kind of breed they are. Look very ancient and scruffy. I don't think they're Shetlands, but neither are they sort of traditional modern horses. We'll get a better look here. Here we are with our friendly horses. I'm trying to zoom in on them a little bit. It's as zooming as I can get. Thought perhaps they might come over and see if we had some sugar or some fruit for them, but they don't seem interested. Maybe we're too strange. Maybe a few more mornings walking by will make their acquaintance. And here's a, looks like an old railroad bridge over the river. Very pretty. There's the river flowing down under through it, and you can see that to the side here, we're walking up to it, a little gate with sort of a grated opening. That's to let bike riders go by and to keep the cattle out. The cattle don't like walking across the things. And then there's a little gate on the side for pedestrians to make their way through. That's what we normally do. I'll let Laura go first. She's an expert at this. And then me. And then here we are along the banks of the Great Stour. Not the Mississippi, but a nice English river. So we mentioned how muddy things were. Well, this little pathway here had been covered with water, and so what they've done is they've come and built a little set of trenches to pull the water off the path, and you can sort of see here how they've done it. You can tell me trying to relieve the pond that had built up here on the pathway. I suppose they'll fill that back in again, and you can see just what a muddy mess it is, of course, where there's any exposed dirt. There's an American tourist walking along. Now, there's a big field here you can see for cattle grazing, although we haven't seen many cattle out here. And then you can see another old lovely rail bridge over in the distance. As we're walking along here in the morning, we frequently see the trains coming by. We'll catch one if we can. The fast train to London, 1 hour to St. Pancras Station, or the slow one to down to the south to Rye, to Ashford, other points like that. Oh, you can hear it. Hear a train whistle in the distance. You can hear a few of the birds. There's some up there in a tree. The river's full, very high now. It's been raining so much, and it's nearly to the edge of its banks. Down there, maybe I can get up close as a moorhen, a little black bird with a yellow bill. It's a strange little creature that lives in and around the water, but it doesn't have webbed feet. It can barely swim, but sort of lives half on the land and half in the water. And not very many predators here, so they don't suffer. There's the train. That's the slow one, the yellow and white one here. Fast trains are kind of a sleek blue steel contraption. These are the old Southeast rail cars, and they're sometimes pretty ancient inside. Okay, here we have some ducks in the river splashing along. You'll find quite a few. This is our view back to the bridge. Back there. And now we're progressing here along the banks. Whoops, there go the ducks away. And here we're walking along the river. Lots of walkers. It's early in the morning, quite a few with their dogs. Some bike riders. And mums with their strollers and their babies. What else do we see here, Laura? Critters. Not anything to note. There's a structure up here we're not quite sure about. There's a kind of a built-up thing. Looks like it's an abutment for a bridge, but there's no sign of anything on the other side. So we can't quite figure out what this is for. The bridge to nowhere. Yeah, that could be it. There's a little stairway leading up to the top of it. We've been promising ourselves to go up and explore a little bit and see what's about. Maybe today's the day for it. Okay, so we've gotten here. I'm going to climb up the stairs. Laura wants a picture of me struggling up the stairs, so I'll do that. We're going to pull back here a little bit so we can see. This is cow dung, of course. Oh, there's another train coming through. That's also one of the slow trains. Oh, back we go. You can see they're building a handrail here. It's not quite in place yet. Wait, I'll get up here and I'll turn around and look at Laura and see what she's up to. She wasn't prepared to be photographed this morning, so she's a little bit peeved with me. But I think she's lovely every morning. There she is. Coming up, and now we get a nice view of the path and the river leading back up to the city. There she comes. Yeah, let's see what this is. It's like an old road used to come up along here, and now they've got a little maybe viewing area. I'm not quite sure what this is for. Oh, but it's pretty. Let's get over here where we can see things a bit better. Okay, here you can see the bike path going up in the distance. We're heading towards a little town called, what's it called, Laura? Faddington? What's the name of the little town? Barrington? Faddington. And here on the side you can see the tops of there's a little shopping center over here with a big grocery store and a Argos, which is kind of a catalog store. You go in and get stuff, plus a bunch of other shops and such. We went over there yesterday and got our microwave oven. We were finding we couldn't live without that. And but it's back here from the path, so you can walk along the path and not really see any of the congestion. There's a big parking lot over there. But back here in the background, it's kind of windy today. You may be able to hear the wind whipping around us. It's quiet, peaceful. There's a little example of the mud flats that you have to keep an eye out for. Okay, you can see up on the hill, this is a little river valley. You can see there's a highway running by it, and then our house is built up on the hillsides above the valley, and then down here in the valley looks like it's agricultural and recreational areas. They control growth quite a bit here, so there are laws that prohibit people from just coming in and building up some kind of subdivision or something. So it's controlled, but there is some degree of growth allowed. Here you can see the stream going by, and that was the little abutment we were up on just a few minutes ago. Yeah, you can see that some tracks from some big tractor have been through here and dug their way through the mud along the path. Some kind of big pipe to carry natural gas, who knows what, along here. And then right up ahead is the little branch that takes you over to the shopping center if you want to do some shopping. So it's actually fairly convenient. There you can see through the buildings a little bit where there's a big busy road over there. That's the road that goes to Ashford, nearest big town. And there's a lot of shopping going on in there, parking and so forth. There's a bus coming. There's a park and ride lot there, so people from the area come, park their cars, and then ride the buses into town. Hold on.